Hello everyone, welcome to EduTap and welcome to the mega revision series that the EduTap has launched for you. Now this series is very important for the SEBI Grade A 2024 because you can check your level of preparation as well as you can revise the concepts through these series. Okay, so there are going to be the different sessions. So first we are going to start with the economics revision. Okay, first we are going to start with the economics part 1. So there will be 4 sessions for economics so that you have the in-depth understanding about your level of preparation and how much in-depth you have to go in your preparation, what more you have to cover in your preparation. Okay, then you will have the sessions for the different subjects, the different paper 2 subjects such as finance, commerce and accounts, company law and such. Okay, so this is the mega revision series that EduTap has launched for you. I hope you will take the benefit from this series. I hope you will check your level of preparation as well as you will gain a lot of more understanding regarding the concepts. Okay, so welcome everyone. Yes, so welcome everyone, welcome to the session and good evening to everyone. So let's start with the session and today we are going to do 25 MCQs in a systematic manner so that we can check that, okay, as per the topics, how much your preparation has happened and what and where you are lagging. Okay, so I hope you are prepared for this mega revision series. I hope your preparation is going very good and you will utilize this series in the best possible manner. So let's get started. I hope everyone is ready. So give me a thumbs up if you are all ready and I'm clearly audible, I'm clearly visible. There is no background noise or there is no sound that is coming. Okay, so everything's fine. Give me a thumbs up. So let's start with the session, but before that, do subscribe to the YouTube channel of EduTap and join our Telegram channel. In the Telegram channel, you are going to get the PDF of the session. So in the Telegram channel, you will get the PDF of the session. Okay. So starting with the first question. So this is the first question in front of you. It seems a little lengthy, but it is a very easy question. So try to answer this question. Okay. And you will get the PDF in the Telegram channel. So this is the first question. Try to answer this question. So about 70% of the world's cocoa beans come from 4 West African countries and 2 of the largest cocoa producers, Ivory Coast and the Ghana, have been recently hit by heavy rain as well as dry heat and diseases affecting the production of cocoa. In the context of the world supply or demand model for the affected cocoa, we should observe which of the following. So sorry, she's saying B. Okay. What about the others? I am getting the answer C also. Reduce supply and demand unchanged. Very good. So what is happening that 2 of the biggest producers are hit. They are affected. So of course the supply is going to go down, supply is going to reduce, as well as in the world level the demand is going to be unchanged because the conditions of the other country is not changing as per this paragraph. You can see that there is no mention of the changing condition in the other countries. So simply the idea is that the supply will reduce because of the reduction in the production in the major countries, but the demand will remain unchanged. So here the answer is B. So I hope you have got this. Now coming to the next question. So application based question can come, direct questions can come. So keep your mind open and try to read everything very carefully. Okay. So here white bread is considered inferior to the brown bread. So there are normally 2 kinds of goods. Let's say normal goods and the inferior goods. Inferior goods. So you have to tell that the white bread that is considered the inferior good has dash price elasticity of demand. What is the sign of the price elasticity of demand and what is the sign for the income elasticity of demand for the inferior goods? Okay, so I'm getting the answer B and C. So the answer is C here. The answer is C. That is C. For the normal goods and inferior goods, for both of these goods, the law of demand follows. What is law of demand? Anyone can tell me? The law of demand states that there is negative relationship or there is inverse relationship between the price of a commodity and the demand of the commodity. That means if the price is increasing, if there is increase in the price of a commodity, the demand will be falling, the demand will reduce. So this is true. This is true for both the inferior goods and the normal goods. If the price is increasing, demand will fall. If the price is falling, demand will increase. So that means there is inverse relationship between price and demand. So there is the negative sign in front of the price elasticity of demand. Now coming to the income elasticity of demand. For the income elasticity, the income and the relationship between demand. So it says that if the income is increasing, for the normal goods, the demand will also increase. For the normal goods, if your income is increasing, your demand for that normal good will also increase. If the income is decreasing, your demand for the normal good will also decrease. So there is positive income elasticity of demand for the normal goods. But when it comes to the inferior goods, in the case of inferior goods, if your income is increasing, your demand is falling, and when your income is falling, your demand is increasing for that particular inferior good, So I hope you understand that there is a negative relationship between the income of the person and the demand for a particular product, that is inferior good. So there is negative income elasticity of demand if it is an inferior good. So the price elasticity of demand. So here you can see the relationship for the normal goods, the income, the demand and the income. For the normal goods, let's say normal good is brown bread. So if the income is increasing, your demand for the brown bread is increasing. If your income is decreasing, the demand for the brown bread is decreasing. Okay. So that means for the normal good, the income is having the positive relationship with the demand of the normal good, while the price has a negative relationship with the demand. Okay, for the inferior good, for the normal good. While for the inferior good, if we see that if the income is increasing, the demand is decreasing for the inferior good because it is an inferior good, while vice versa is happening. If the income is decreasing, demand is increasing for the inferior good. So income and the demand for the inferior good have a negative relationship. I hope this is clear. Next, so here you can see the diagram that for the inferior good, the relationship between the income and the demand is inverse or less than zero, negative that we can say. For the basic or necessity or for the luxury good, they are all in the category of normal goods. So for the normal goods, the relationship between the income and demand is positive. That is, you can see at least greater than zero, It can be greater than 1 also or less than 1 but greater than 0. Okay. Greater than 0. So this is the idea. Now coming to the next question, that for Giffen goods, now we have understood about the normal goods, we have understood about the inferior goods. If there is any confusion, you can ask. But now coming to the Giffen goods. So what is the exception that Giffen goods follow? Which law exception are the Giffen goods? Okay, as well as what is the sign of the income elasticity of demand for the Giffen goods, So try to answer this. I hope you will be able to answer this. So first of all, Giffen goods, they have this is the Giffen goods, for this is the price and demand. That means if the prices are increasing, the demand for the Giffen good is increasing. So that means they are breaking the Giffen goods, they break the law of demand. The law of demand states that there is inverse relationship between the price and the quantity demanded. Okay, law of demand states that the price and the quantity demanded have an inverse relationship. If the price is increasing, quantity demanded is decreasing and vice versa. While for the Giffen goods, the law of demand is broken because if the price is increasing, the demand is also increasing. So Giffen goods do not follow the law of demand, as well as they are a part of the Giffen goods. The Giffen goods are a part of inferior goods. So if the inferior goods follow the negative relationship with the income, similarly Giffen goods also follow the negative relationship with the income. But there is a minor difference between the inferior goods and the Giffen goods. That is that the inferior goods have a negative relation with price. So they follow the inferior goods, they follow the law of demand, but the Giffen goods, they do not follow the law of demand and they have a positive relationship with the price. So remember this very, very clearly that the inferior goods have a negative relationship with the income. Similarly, Giffen goods also have a negative relation with the income of a person. But inferior goods, they have negative relation with price also, while the Giffen goods, they have a positive relation with the price, and that's why they are breaking the law of demand. Okay, so now what are the Giffen goods? So Giffen goods usually are in the case of war or natural calamity. In these kind of extreme situations, there is the arise of a Giffen good. So Giffen good is a concept commonly used in economics, refer to a good that people consume more when their prices are increasing. So let's say potato is getting more and more scarce during the war. So if the potato prices are increasing, the people have to consume more of potato. Why? Because the other goods are more in scarcity. There is very much reduction in the supply chain that has happened. So supply of other goods is also decreasing. So here you can understand that the potato has to be consumed by the people more and more, especially the poor people, and especially during the extreme kind of situation. So the term Giffen good was developed by the economist after he noticed in the poor Victorian era that the rise in the price of a basic food increased the demand of that particular good also. So this is the idea. I hope that till now everything is clear. If there is any confusion, you can ask me at that time only, okay? Or you can ask me later on also. So try to answer this. So try to answer this question, a very easy question. So if you have answered the previous question, this question must be easy for you. So try to see the question and answer. When the quantity supplied is less than the quantity demanded in the market. So simply, this is the quantity demanded and this is the quantity supplied. So when the quantity supplied is less than the quantity demanded. So you can see that the price is below the equilibrium level. Okay, so that is, there is excess demand, quantity supplied is less than the quantity demanded. Okay, that must be present when the prices are lower than the equilibrium level. The prices are lower than the equilibrium level. So excess demand is there with current price below the equilibrium level. So here you can see that there is excess demand when the supply is less than the demand. And there is excess demand and the price is below the equilibrium level. Understood? Now coming to the next question. In the case Pepsi and Coke are substitutes. So Pepsi and Coke, they are substitutes. They can substitute each other. They can substitute each other. So what will be the effect of rise in the prices of Coke on the demand of the Pepsi and Coke? So you have to tell me that if the price of Coke is increasing, what will be the effect on the demand of the Pepsi and Coke? So I hope you will be easily able to answer this question. Try to see and try to answer this question. Okay, I have started getting the answer. Let's see how many of you are correct. So here I am getting the mixed answer A and D. So first of all, if the price of Coke is increasing, what should happen? The demand of Coke should reduce. So if you are reducing your demand for Coke, you can substitute it for Pepsi. You will go to the shopkeeper. You will say that I want the price of the Coke is 10 rupees. Okay, the price of the Coke is 10 rupees. So the price has increased to rupees 20. So now you will say that, okay, I do not want this. I want Pepsi because it is relatively cheaper. It is relatively cheaper. So you will start demanding more of the Pepsi. You will start demanding more of the Pepsi, that is a substitute good, and the fall in the demand of the Coke. Okay. So I hope this is clear. The answer is D. When there is the case of substitute goods. Okay. The price of, let's say, tea is increasing. So the demand of the coffee will increase because they are the substitute goods. So they have a positive. Here you can see there is a positive relationship between the price of a good and the demand of another good. So in case of substitute goods, there is positive relationship between the price of X and the demand of Y. While in case of complements, if there are the complementary goods, let's say the price of petrol is increasing. So if the price of petrol is increasing, the demand for car will reduce. The demand for car will reduce. That means the complementary goods, they have an inverse relationship. If the price of X is increasing, the demand for Y will decrease and vice versa. Okay. So I hope this is clear. I hope there is no confusion here. The complementary goods have a negative relationship while the substitute goods have a positive relationship. So if your cross elasticity of demand means that if there is a percentage change in the price of Y commodity, the percentage change that is coming in the quantity demanded of the X commodity, that is shown by the cross elasticity of demand. So simply the cross elasticity of demand show us the responsiveness of the demand of X commodity with the changes in the price of the Y commodity. So if there is a 10% change in the price of Y commodity and there is a 20% change in the quantity demanded of X commodity and there is a positive sign. First of all, which kind of goods they are? Substitute goods or normal goods, or complementary goods. I hope it is clear that if they have a positive sign, they are the substitute goods. If the price of Y is increasing, the quantity demanded of X is increasing. So they are the substitute goods, and this shows the cross elasticity of demand. Okay. So now, as well as this is the demand curve. So if the price of Coke is increasing, the demand for Coke is decreasing. Okay. So this is the diagram that you can see. If the prices are changing, then it leads to the movement in the demand curve. It leads to the movement in the demand curve. But when the income is changing, income is increasing, let's say, so demand curve will shift rightwards. So always remember that if an exogenous variable, if an external variable is changing, there will be a shift in the demand curve. So if the income is increasing, demand will increase at the same price. So there is a rightward shift in the demand curve. If the, let's say, taste and preference are changing and you do not like this good now, so the demand curve will shift leftwards. At the same price, the demand will reduce because your taste and preference has changed. Okay, ma'am, complementary goods have negative cross elasticity of demand. Yes, complementary goods have negative cross elasticity of demand, that you can see they have negative relationship, while the substitute goods have a positive relationship and they have a positive sign in the cross elasticity of demand. So now coming to the question, I hope you will be able to solve this question. If the slope of the downward sloping demand curve is 5, so always remember that your dependent variable is equal to intercept plus minus the slope multiplied by the independent variable. So try to write the equation of the demand curve and then try to solve this question. I hope you will be able to solve this question. So here, demand, the dependent variable is quantity demanded is equal to, the I is the intercept, so the intercept is 20. The intercept is 20. The slope is downward. Downward sloping means negative slope. So that is negative 5. Independent variable is price, that is 1. So here you can see the answer, the quantity demanded will be 15. So answer here will be C. So very easy question. I hope all of you were able to solve this question. So very easy question. Now moving forward with the next question. See the elasticity, the price elasticity of demand. The price elasticity of demand, it shows that with a percentage change in the quantity demanded, there is a percentage change in demand that is happening. Okay, with the percentage change in price, there is percentage change in quantity demanded. So price elasticity of demand shows that how responsive the demand is with respect to the changes in price. So if there is a change that is coming in the price, how responsive the demand is, that is shown by the price elasticity of demand. So let's say if the price is elastic, when the demand is price elastic, that means a percentage decrease in the price leads to decrease in the quantity demanded. This cannot be possible as per the law of demand. If the price is decreasing, the quantity demanded should increase. Okay, so decrease and decrease cannot be possible. Decrease and increase. Okay, a percentage decrease in the price leads to an increase in the quantity demanded by less than 1%. So no. Okay, a percentage decrease in the price leads to an increase in the quantity demanded by more than 1%. So here the D is the right answer. Why is it so? So I hope you know that the price elasticity of demand, it shows that the percentage change in quantity demanded with a percentage change in price, Okay, so the price elasticity of demand shows the responsiveness of the demand of the quantity demanded with respect to the changes in price. So let's say there is a 10% change in price while there is a 20% change that is coming in quantity demanded. So this shows that the price elasticity of demand is greater than 1. So when the price elasticity of demand is greater than 1, that means a percentage change in the price is leading to more than a percentage change in the demand. So this is the price elastic. Okay, so price elastic means that the elasticity of price is greater than 1. Price inelastic means that the price inelastic means that the percentage change in price is, let's say, 10%, while the percentage change in demand is, let's say, 5%. So there is a less than 1, 0.5 percentage, or the price elasticity of demand is 0.5. That means it is less than 1. So it is inelastic demand. Okay, so demand is price inelastic, we can say. Okay, so with a huge change in the price, there is a very minor change that is coming in demand. With a huge change in price, there is a very minor change that is coming in demand. So this is shown by the price inelastic curve. Now here we have unitary elastic, that means the percentage change in price is equal to percentage change in demand. Okay, if we have this vertical curve, that means there is no change in demand that is coming. The percentage change in demand is 0 as compared to the percentage change in price. So percentage change in price is let's say 10%, but the percentage change in demand is 0%. Let's say with the percentage change in price of 10%, there is infinite change, nearly infinite change that is coming in the demand. So that is perfectly elastic demand curve. Okay, so when there is the price elasticity of demand equal to 1, that is unitary elastic. When the percentage change in price is less than the percentage change in demand, that means demand is changing by huge, so that is price elastic. If the percentage change in demand is less, so that is price inelastic. If there is the no change that is coming in the demand, so that is perfectly inelastic demand curve. Okay, if there is infinite demand change that can come, so that is perfectly elastic demand curve. So this is the different price elasticities. So now try to answer this question. I hope you know the question, you know the formula, and you will be easily able to answer this question. So try to answer this question. Okay, so here you can understand that if the elasticity of demand for college textbook is minus 0.1, so minus sign shows that there is an inverse relationship between the price and the quantity of a commodity. Okay, so is equal to the percentage change in price, with that there is the percentage change in quantity demanded that is coming. Okay, so 0.1 percentage change in price is 20%, so that will go here multiplied by 20%, so that will show that here there is 2% change in demand that is coming. So if the price is increasing by 20%, the demand will decrease by 2%. So I hope this is clear. Yes, so the quantity demanded decreases by 2%. So here the answer is C. I hope this is clear that if there is the price elasticity of demand is 0.1, the percentage change in price is 20%. So there will be a 2% quantity change in quantity demanded that will be coming. Now who can tell me that this is inelastic demand or this is elastic demand, perfectly elastic demand, perfectly inelastic demand? So anyone can tell me that which kind of price elasticity this is? Perfectly inelastic, perfectly elastic, elastic, inelastic, or unitary elastic? Which kind of demand it is? Less than 1, so it is inelastic demand. Very good. It is inelastic demand because it is less than 1. It is less than 1. Very good. So now the next question is that in the United States, try to read this question and try to answer this question. So in the US, the long run elasticity of oil demand has been estimated as 0.5. So elasticity is 0.5. Okay. Now there is the how much would be the price of the oil have to permanently rise in order to cut oil consumption by 50%. So kindly try to answer this. How much would be the price of oil have to permanently rise in order to cut oil consumption by 50%. So anyone who is able to answer this question? Simply the idea is that there is the cut that we want in the demand. So what will be the rise in the price? So here 0.5 multiplied by, let's say, x percentage. So x percent will go there equal to 50%. So here 50 divided by 0.5, that means there will be 100% increase in the price of the oil is required, 100% increase in the price that is required to decrease the demand by 50%. So if the price elasticity of demand is 0.5 and the oil consumption has to be reduced by 50%, that means how much of the increase in the price is required, how much percentage increase in the price that is required. So that is 100%. 100% of the increase in the price is required. Understood? So everyone were able to answer this question. If there is any confusion in any question, kindly ask. Okay, I am in front of you. I am taking your doubts here. So do not worry about it and ask your doubts. Okay, so here simple question was there that 0.5 is the price elasticity of demand, and if the consumption has to be reduced or if the demand has to be reduced by 50%, so there is a requirement of 100% of increase in the price. Okay, so I hope you are able to solve this equation. Okay, now coming to the next question, that is the elasticity of demand is 0.9. Is the demand curve relatively steep or flat, and will a fall in the price raise total revenue or lower it? So there are two questions actually. First of all, there is the price elasticity of demand as 0.9. Okay, usually in the elasticity of demand, we ignore the sign because law of demand is there. We already know that there is a negative sign. So we usually take the absolute term. Okay, so less than 1 means there is inelastic demand. Less than 1, greater than 0, inelastic demand. Greater than 1, elastic demand. Equal to 1, unitary elastic. Equal to infinity, perfectly elastic. And equal to 0, perfectly inelastic. So these are the elasticities. Okay, so kindly try to answer this question. That if the elasticity of demand is 0.9, that means, okay, there will be a relatively steep demand curve because the price elasticity of demand. So here we are taking the price and here we are taking the demand. So with the huge change in price, there will be very minor change in demand that will come. So this is shown by the inelastic demand, that with the huge percentage change in price, there will be slight change in percentage demand, percentage change in demand. So it will be a steep demand curve. It will be a steep demand curve. Now, if there is a steep demand curve and you are trying to lower the price, with the lowering of the price, you are lowering the price by 10%, let's say, and the demand is increasing by only 2%, let's say. So that means you are lowering your price a lot, but the demand is not increasing much. So you will not be able to increase the total revenue. So let's see this through a question. So if the price was rupees 10 and the quantity demanded was 50 kgs, so you were getting the total revenue means price multiplied by quantity. So total revenue was 500. Now you have decreased your price. You have lowered your price from 10 rupees to 8 rupees. Okay, so there is a decrease in the price, but the quantity demanded is only increasing from 50 to let's say 55. So your total revenue, so quantity demanded, the percentage change in price has happened, that is the price has decreased. The price has decreased from 10 to 8 and the demand has increased. With the decrease in price, the demand has increased, but the price has decreased by more as compared to the increase in demand. So here you can see that the total revenue has actually decreased. So with the decrease in price, if there is the inelastic demand, with the decrease in price, the price has to decrease by a huge percentage and the increase in demand will be by a very small percentage, due to which the total revenue will fall. The total revenue will fall, lower the total revenue if there is the decrease in the price. Okay, if the price is falling, the total revenue will also fall if there is the inelastic demand. If there is the inelastic demand, because with the huge increase in, even with the huge decrease in price, the demand is increasing by a little. With a huge decrease in price, demand is increasing by a little. So you have to decrease the price a lot, due to which it is lowering your total revenue, and there is the relatively steep demand curve when you have the inelastic demand curve. So here the C was the answer. So you can see here that if the price is inelastic or if the demand is inelastic, if you have a inelastic demand curve, what you can do is increase your price, because by if you are increasing your price by a huge percentage, let's say by 20%, your demand is only falling by 4%. So your total revenue will increase. So your total revenue will increase actually when you are increasing the price. Let's say that the for salt, right now you are buying the salt for 10 rupees. If the salt prices are increased to 15 rupees, it will not matter to you. First of all, it is a necessary good, and second of all, the price, it is a inelastic. There is an inelastic demand, and there are not many substitutes for the good. So you cannot substitute that good, okay? So you have an inelastic demand even with a huge increase in the price, like the price has nearly increased by 50%, still your demand will not fall by much. So that is the, in this case, it is better to increase the price. So for the inelastic goods, if the price is increased, the total revenue will increase. If the price is decreased, the total revenue will actually decrease, and you will have to remember this very clearly, okay? Application based questions can come and these kind of questions can come, okay? So now before moving ahead, I want to tell you that we have launched ultimate test series for the SEBI Grade A 2024 to help your preparation, to boost your preparation, and this test series is for your phase 1 plus phase 2. Here you are getting the chapter wise test, solved previous year questions, the current affairs test also, the full length test for the phase 1 as well as full length test for the phase 2. So this is the ultimate test series that the EduTap has launched for you, and you can get a good discount on this also. I will show you that. You can go to the website, and then if you go to the website, let me just show you. You can go edutap.co.in, you can go to the courses, SEBI Grade A course, and you can get the test series, okay? So here you can see that there is the test series that is being offered to you. So there is the phase 1 plus phase 2 test series that is going on, and you can get good discount. So you can check it out that what is the discount and all. And you can see that this is for your better preparation, and this is the ultimate test series that we have launched for your preparation of the phase 1 plus phase 2. You are getting immense number, 12,000 plus MCQs and descriptive tests in the form of these chapter wise tests and such. So you're getting immense number of MCQs for your practice, and you know that how important the MCQs are for the practice. So I hope you will be using this test series. Now let's move forward with the next question. That is, elasticity of demand is 1.1. So the elasticity of demand is 1.1. In that, is the demand curve relatively steep or flat, as well as if you lower the price, if you lower the price, the total revenue, how it will be affected. So that you have to tell me, okay? So try to answer this question. So here, see, elasticity of demand is 1.1. So that is, there is the elastic demand, because this is greater than 1, the demand is greater than 1, okay. Elastic demand means that with a change in the price, there is huge change in the demand that is coming. With a change in the price, there is huge change in the demand that is coming. So that is, there is relatively flat demand curve. And now if the price is falling, okay, if the price is falling by let's say 2%, the demand will increase. If the price is falling by 2%, the demand will increase, let's say, by 6%. So demand is increasing by way more than the decrease in price. So this will increase the total revenue, okay, this will increase the total revenue. So in case of, here you can see that if the price for the cars is 100, the price for the car is 100 and the quantity demanded is 50. If you decrease the price from 100 to, if the price is increased to 120, then the quantity demanded will decrease by 20 cars and your total revenue will, sorry, this is the case of inelastic wala. So here, let's say your price has decreased from 100 to 80. Your price has decreased from 100 to 80 and your quantity demanded has increased from 50 cars to 100 cars. So what will happen, that your price is decreasing from 100 to 80 while your demand for the cars is increasing from 50 to 100. So your price has decreased from 100 to 80 while your demand has increased from 50 to 100. So that means before your total revenue was 5,000, and now your total revenue has increased to 8,000. So that means if you have elastic demand, then a small change in price can lead to a small decrease in price can lead to a huge increase in demand, and that can increase your total revenue. Okay, so the price is decreasing from 100 to 80 and the demand is increasing from 50 to 100. So you can see that there is the increase in the total revenue. As the price is decreasing, the total revenue is increasing from 5,000 to 8,000. Okay, so this is the idea. So increase in price will, in the case of elastic demand, increase in price will reduce your total revenue, while the decrease in price will increase the total revenue, because with a small decrease in price there is huge increase in demand that is coming, and with a small increase in price huge decrease in demand will come. So if you are increasing the price, you have elastic demand, you are increasing the price, that is going to be harmful for you. So I hope this is clear. I hope this is clear. So now coming to the next question. So try to answer this question, okay? A consumer purchased 10 units of a commodity when its price was rupees 5 per unit. Now he purchased 12 units when the price fall to rupees 4 per unit. So what will be the price elasticity of demand? That you have to tell me, okay? So try to answer this question. So try to answer this question, that the consumer purchased 10 units of a commodity when the price was 5, and now the price has decreased to 4 and the quantity demanded has increased to 12. Okay, so in this case, what is the formula of price elasticity of demand? So the price elasticity of demand has the formula percentage change in demand, percentage change in quantity demanded divided by percentage change in price. Percentage change in price means, so if we open this formula up, percentage change in price means the percentage change in price is equal to the change in price divided by the original price multiplied by 100, and the percentage change in quantity demanded is change in quantity demanded, original quantity demanded multiplied by 100. So 100 will be cut and this will go here. So here we get change in quantity demanded, original quantity demanded multiplied by original price, change in price. So what is the original quantity demanded here? What is the original quantity demanded? That is 10. So original quantity demanded, change in quantity demanded is 2, original quantity demanded is 10, multiplied by the original price is 5, and the change in price is 1. Okay, so the formula is, if you open this formula up, change in quantity demanded, original quantity demanded multiplied by original price divided by change in price. So here you get the answer as 1. So 1 means that there is unitary elastic demand curve. There is unitary elastic demand curve, that is equal to the price elasticity of demand is equal to 1. So in this case you have unitary elastic demand curve. Okay, so here you can see that price elasticity of demand, so percentage change in quantity demanded to percentage change in price. So percentage change in quantity demanded means change in demand divided by original demand multiplied by 100. Okay, so change in price, original price. So this is the original formula that you get. This is the last formula, and if you keep the numbers, you will get to the answer that there is the unitary elastic demand curve. Okay, got it? Next question is, find cross elasticity of demand for good X when the price of Y falls from 5 to rupees 4 and the demand of X has increased from 60 to 75. So there are two goods that are mentioned. So find the cross elasticity of demand, as well as tell me that the goods are substitute goods or complementary goods. So try to answer this question. So here you can see that the cross elasticity of demand, so percentage change in the demand of the X commodity divided by percentage change in the price of Y commodity. So here if we open this formula up, the formula will be change in quantity demanded of X, original quantity demanded of X multiplied by original price of Y and the change in price of Y. So original quantity demanded of X is change in quantity demanded is 15. And the original quantity demanded is 60 multiplied by original price is 5, change in price is 1. So here you will get the answer as 15 divided by 12, that is 1.25. So and there is a negative sign because you can see that if the price of Y is falling, there is increase in the quantity demanded. So if the price of petrol is falling, the demand for cars is increasing. That means this is the complementary good, and complementary goods have a negative sign. So you have to tell that yes, this is a complementary good and they have a negative sign. So answer is 1.25, and I hope you will remember this formula also. You will remember the concept also. Is it clear? Give me a thumbs up that till now everything is clear, or if there is any confusion in any of the concepts, kindly ask. Okay. So give me a thumbs up if everything is clear. Then we will move to the next question. So everything is getting clear or not? So I have brought the application based questions also, so that you can understand that what kind of questions can come in the phase 1 can come in the phase 2. Clear? Okay, so Manish, I will show you at the end of the session that how directly from the website you can buy the course if you want to. Okay, so now let's move forward with the next question. So this is a question. Here, if you are able to solve the question, that means you have understood the concept of the income method in the national income chapter. Okay, so try to answer this question. This is a numerical question, so try to answer this. Let's see how many of you are able to answer this. The phase 1 can come in the So let's see. First of all, national income. This is the income method, right? Income method. So if you want to solve this question, income method is you have to calculate NDP at FC through the formula, right? So NDP FC is equal to compensation of employees plus the rent plus interest plus profits plus wages plus the mixed income. Now this rent plus interest plus profits, this is what? This is operating surplus. This is operating surplus. Okay. Now this rent is how much? Rent is 800. Interest is how much? Interest and rent both are 800. Okay. Now profits is given. Yes or no? What is profit here? Profit is undistributed profits plus the corporation tax and plus the dividend, because the profits is divided into 3 parts. From the profits, the company is keeping undistributed profits for the future working. So there are the undistributed profits. There is the corporation tax that has to be paid from the profits, as well as from the profits the dividend has to be paid to the shareholders. So the undistributed profits is 300, dividend is 940, and the corporation tax is 460. So kindly add this up. This will be your operating surplus. So what is operating surplus? 940, 460. So this will be how much? 1400 plus 300, that is 1700 plus 800. So this will be how much? Yes, 2500. Okay. So the operating surplus is how much? 2500. Everyone? Okay, now we have got the operating surplus. So now you do not even need to calculate the other thing. So because this is the sole answer. Okay, so this is the answer. Now operating surplus we have got. What is compensation of employees? That is 2000. And what is mixed income? That is 200. So just in the 2500 you have to add 2000 and you have to add 200, right? So you will get to 4700. So you have got the NDPFC also, that is 4700. Any confusion, anyone? So I hope all of you were able to answer this question. Very easy. Operating surplus is the rent, interest and the profits. So this is operating surplus. Now profits is divided into 3 parts: the undistributed profits, dividend and corporate tax. Okay. So when you add all of this up, you get the operating surplus of 2500, and if you add compensation of employees and the mixed income, you get to the NDP at FC. Clear? Okay. Next question is from the value added method. So this is an easy question. I hope you will be able to answer this question, and you have to find the GVA at FC. So let's see. Just try to answer very fast. Not much calculation required here. Just try to answer this. So here you can see sales. Okay. So sales is 8000. So the formula of the value added method is, value of output minus intermediate consumption. Value of output means sales plus change in stock. Change in stock. Change in stock is 100. Sales is 8,000. Now minus intermediate consumption. Intermediate consumption is 5,500. So what is the answer here? 8,100 minus 5,500. Okay. So this is what you have got. This is the GVA at FC or GVA at MP. This is GVA at FC or GVA at MP. First of all, what is this? Value of output minus intermediate consumption is giving you GVA at MP or GVA at FC. So this is giving you GVA at MP. This is giving you GVA at MP. From the GVA at MP that you have got, you have to, from the GVA at MP that you have got, you have to deduct, you have to go to the GVA at FC. That means you have to deduct the indirect taxes and you have to add the subsidies. Okay. So here, sales 8,000, change in stock is 100. The intermediate consumption is 5,500. So in total 2,600 is actually GVA at MP. So do you have to calculate GVA at MP? No, you have to calculate GVA at FC. GVA at MP is 2,600. But you have to calculate the GVA at FC. So from the GVA at MP, you have to deduct the indirect taxes because from the market you have to go to the factory. So you have to deduct the indirect taxes, okay, and add the subsidies. So indirect taxes are not given. They are considered 0. The subsidies are 200. So if you add the subsidies, the answer is 2,800. Is it clear now? So this is the formula GVA at MP or the GDP at MP, value of output minus intermediate consumption. Value of output is the sales plus change in stock. Change in stock is actually closing stock minus opening stock. Okay, that during the opening of the year you had the stock of 20. Now during the closing of the year, during the end of the year, you have accumulated the stock of 40. That means the change in stock has happened of 20. Okay, so this is the value of output minus intermediate consumption that gives you GVA at MP or GDP at MP. Okay, nice. Let's move to the next question. I hope this is clear. Let's go to the next question and try to answer this question. So now, okay, personal income is what? It is private income. See, private income is the income that is going to the households and the firms. So private income is the income that is going to the households and the firms, or the money that is received by the households and the firms. Now, in the personal income, we only want to see the income that is received by the households. That means from the private income, we have to deduct this part of the firms. So the firms are keeping the part of profit. The firms are, let's say the firms are earning the profits. So from the profits, they have to give the dividends. Dividends are going to the households, they are going to the shareholders. Now from the profits, they have to pay to the corporation tax. The corporation tax is not going to households. The corporation tax is going to the government, so that has to be deducted. Now undistributed profits are kept with the firms only for the future operations. So the undistributed profits are also not going to the households. The firms are keeping it. So from the private income, that is the income of the households and the firms, you have to deduct the part of the profits that is kept by the firms. Okay, so the private income, that is the income of the households and firms, from this you have to deduct the part of the profits that is kept by the firm for paying the taxes and for its future operations. So then you get to the personal income, that is the core income of the households. GDP at FC, so from the net to gross, add the depreciation. National to domestic, deduct the net factor income from abroad, and from the factor cost, no change. Okay, so if you go from the domestic to national, you have to add the net factor income from abroad, that is the income from abroad. In the domestic territory, we do not include the income from abroad, but in the national, you have to include the net factor income from abroad. If you want to go to the domestic from national, you have to deduct the net factor income from abroad. Okay, next is if you are going from the net to gross, you have to add the depreciation. If you are going from the gross to net, so you have to deduct the depreciation. Okay, now personal disposable income, this is the income that you can spent. So let's say you are getting the income of rupees 1000. So households are getting the income of rupees 1000. From this rupees 1000, they have to pay the direct taxes. They have to pay the income taxes. That is, they have to pay the personal income tax, let's say, of 100 rupees. So from the 1000 rupees, 100 rupees they are paying. So they are left with 900 rupees that they can consume or that they can save. Okay. Next is basic price. So in the factor cost, if you want to go to the basic price, you have to add the production tax and you have to deduct the subsidies. You have to deduct the production subsidies. So this is the private income, that from the national income. If you are going to the private income, this is the income of the households and the private firms. This is the income of the households and the private firms. So in the national income, that is the income of the country, you have to deduct the income of the government. So you are deducting the income from the property and entrepreneurship that is going to the government, as well as you are deducting the saving of the government also. Okay. Then you are coming to the income from the national product that is coming to the private sector, that is going to the income that is going to the households and the firms, the private firms. Now in this you have to add the current transfer from government. So there are the transfer income, the old age pensions, the subsidies that are going to the households, the subsidies that are going to the firms, that you have to deduct. That is current transfer from, that you have to add, because this is also the income that is received by the households and the private firms. Okay. So national income is the earned income that you are earning, but in the private income you are also adding the current transfers, or you are also adding the transfer income. This is the income, this is the payment, that is unilateral payment. You are not doing anything for the government. Still the government is giving you subsidies. Still the government is giving you old age pension, or still the government is giving you unemployment allowances, let's say. Okay. So this is transfer payment. This is transfer payment that is considered unilateral payment. So you are not doing anything for the government, but still the government is giving you the transfer payment. Okay. So that has to be added, because in the national income we only add the earned income. You are giving your services, you are earning something. So that is added in national income. But in the private income, you also include the transfer payments. Net current transfer from the rest of the world. Let's say you have a family or you have relatives living in America. They are sending money to you. They are sending money to the relative that are living in India. Similarly, you are also sending some money outside for your kids that are working outside, for your kids that are studying outside. So there is money that is flowing into the country from the relatives abroad. There is money that is flowing out of the country from the relatives in India. Okay. So that is, let's say $100 are coming in India from outside, and we are giving $50 to outside. Okay. So households are receiving $100, households are paying $50. So net is $50 they are keeping. So this is also added in their income. This is not earned income, but this is the transfer payment, because relatives are just giving you money because you are the relative. You are not doing any service for your relatives, right? So this is the transfer payments that are coming from the rest of the world, and that is going to the rest of the world. So this is net current transfers to the rest of the, from the rest of the world. How much is coming in minus how much is going out. National debt interest. Now, as you know that in the national income, we include the interest, right? When we are calculating the national income, we include the interest plus rent plus profits plus the wages. So interest is included in the national income, but this is the interest that you are earning on the capital. That is the money that is being used for the for providing the loans for the machinery, tools and equipments that are used in the production process. So if the money is lent for the production process, then this is considered capital, and then the interest is included in the national income. But let's say that you are giving the money to the government for its consumption purposes, for its expenditure, like consumption purposes. So this is not creating production in the country. So this kind of money that you are lending, you are earning interest in it, but this money is not capital, because this is not creating production activities. So that's why this interest is not included in the national income. This kind of money is not capital, it is not included in the national income, right? So this has to be separately included. This is the national debt interest. So the government is taking the debt for its consumption purposes. So the interest that you are earning has to be separately added in the private income. So the households, the firms are earning the national debt interest also. So I hope this is clear. So all the interest let's say you are earning the interest on the money that you are providing for the machinery, tools and equipments to the firms so that they can use it in the production process. So this money is capital and the interest that you are earning is included in the national income. But let's say you are providing the money for buying the car for your own purpose, for buying iPhone or such. So this is the money that you are providing, but this is not capital. So the interest you are earning on this money will not be included in the national income, but this will be included in the private income. Okay. So the private income is the income of the firms and households. So all the interest, all the rent, all the interest, rent, the profits and the wages. So all the interest, rent, wages, they go to the households because ultimately the money is owned by some household or some individual, let's say. But the profits, a part of the profit is kept by the firms in the form of corporate tax and the undistributed profits. Okay. So the private income is all of this income, national income minus the government income. So national income minus the government income plus the national debt, interest, current transfers from government, net current transfers. So this is private income. This is private income. From the private income, you have to deduct the corporate profit tax that the firms are keeping and the undistributed corporate profit that the firms are keeping, and whatever is left is going to the households in the form of personal income. From the personal income, you have to deduct the miscellaneous receipts that is taken by the government and the direct taxes that is taken by the government. So then you are coming to the personal disposable income, that is the income that is going for the consumption and saving purposes. This is the income that you can use. Any confusion in this? Any confusion? Kindly ask if there is any confusion. Any confusion, anyone? Is it clear? Clear? Only one student is getting the point. Only Sorish is able to understand. What about the others? What about the others? Say yes or no if you have understood it or not. Should I repeat it? Okay. Okay. So factor cost, in the factor cost you have to add the net production taxes, that you have to add the production taxes and you have to deduct the production subsidies to come to the basic price. Production tax is, let's say that you are paying the stamp duty or you are paying some fee to start the production. It doesn't depend on how many units you are producing. You are a small farmer, big farmer, huge farmer, marginal farmer, doesn't matter. You have to pay the land revenue, let's say, or stamp duty, let's say. Okay, all the people in the country, they have to pay, if they are buying the land, they have to pay some tax. Okay, so this is the production. Let's say you are engaging in the production activity. Just for engaging in the production activity, you have to pay the taxes. So this is production taxes, doesn't matter how much you are producing. Similarly, just because you are a micro, small or medium enterprises, you are getting the production subsidies. Doesn't matter how much you are producing, just because you are a MSME, so you are getting some kind of subsidy. Okay, so these are independent of the volume of actual production. So how much production is happening doesn't matter. Just because you are in a particular profession, just because you are in a particular business, you will have to pay a particular duty. Okay, or you are getting a particular kind of subsidy. Now in the basic price, you have to add the net product taxes. Net product taxes means like the GST, goods and services tax. You have to pay the production tax. The product tax is paid or received on per unit of product. So if I am buying one water bottle, so I have to pay tax on this. If I am buying 4 water bottle, I have to pay tax on each of the commodity. Okay, so this is paid or received on per unit of product. So this is the production tax and the production minus the production subsidies. So this is net product taxes. So product subsidies means that per unit of product that you are providing, you are getting the subsidy, or for the per unit of fuel or per unit of fertilizer, you are getting the subsidy. So production tax and the production subsidy, they are independent of the volume of actual production. Just because you are in the production of a particular thing, you have to pay this duty, you have to pay this tax, or just because you are in the process of the production of a particular good, just because you are a farmer, just because you are a MSME, you are getting some particular subsidies. Okay, now the product tax or product subsidy means they are paid, tax is paid on per unit of product, subsidy is subsidy they are able to receive on per unit of product. So they depend on the actual production, they do not depend on the actual production. Net production taxes means product tax minus product subsidy net production taxes means production taxes minus production subsidies. Net product tax means product tax minus product subsidy. Okay, so I hope this is clear, just the formula that you have to remember. Now moving forward, try to answer this question, easy question. So try to answer this one. Bharatpur, you can write a mail at hello@edutap.co.in. So you can write a mail in this, because as per my knowledge, it happens in English, but I am not very sure. So you can write a mail at this and you can clarify your doubt. Okay. So the question is that you have NNP at MP. You are adding the subsidies and you are deducting the indirect tax. So that is from the market price, you are deducting the indirect tax, you are adding the subsidy. That means you are going to the NNP at FC. From the market, you are going to the factor cost. From the market, you are going to the factory. So you are deducting the indirect taxes, you are adding the subsidies. So here you are going to the NNP at FC. That means you are calculating the national income. Clear? Yes. So this is how, like from the factor cost, if you have to go to the market price, add the indirect taxes, deduct the subsidies. From the market, if you are going to the factory, deduct the indirect taxes, add the subsidies. Domestic to national, add the net factor income from abroad. From the national to domestic, deduct the net factor income from abroad. Net to gross, add the depreciation. Gross to net, deduct the depreciation. So this is the idea. Next question is that NDP at FC is less than national income. So national income is NNP at FC. So NDP at FC is less than the national income. So that means there is a positive net factor income from abroad, negative net factor income from abroad. Net exports are positive or what? What is the kind of situation here? Anyone? B? Negative? In the net domestic product, you are adding the net factor income from abroad to go to the NNP at FC. Now NDP at FC is 500. NNP at FC is 600. And NDP at FC is 500, let's say, and NNP at FC is 600. So that means there must be some positive net factor income from abroad. That's why the national income is greater than the NDP at FC, or NDP at FC is less than the national income. There should be a positive net factor income from abroad. Nitya, is it clear? Sorish, is it clear? Why did you got confused in this? NDP at FC is less than the national income. NNP at FC. So NDP at FC is less than the NNP at FC. So in the NDP at FC, NDP at FC is less than the NNP at FC. That means we are adding the net factor income from abroad. So if this is less, that means in this, let's say this is 500, we are adding some positive number, 100, let's say. So that's why this is greater now. That's why this is greater. Understood? Clear? I hope this kind of mistake will not be made again. So net factor income from abroad is positive. Understood? Okay. Next is, try to answer this question. So here, calculate the national income and you have the expenditure method. Through the expenditure method, you have to calculate the national income. So I'm giving you 1 or 2 minutes. So kindly try to answer this question. So you have to calculate the national income, but through the expenditure method, you are calculating GDP at MP through the consumption, private final consumption expenditure, government consumption plus gross capital formation or the investment plus the net exports. Okay. So private final consumption expenditure is 5,000 plus government. So private expenditure 5,000 plus government expenditure 3,000 gross domestic capital formation. So gross domestic capital formation is the total capital formation that has happened, the investment that has happened. So that is 1000. And the last is the net exports. So net exports, the net imports are given. So that is 200. So net exports are added, but net imports will be deducted because they are showing the import minus exports and not the export minus import. So we have to deduct the net imports. So net imports is 200. That means net exports are minus 200. Okay. Net imports are 200. That means net export will be minus 200. Okay. So here you are getting the 8,800 as the GDP at MP. But you do not have to calculate the GDP at MP. You have to calculate the NNP at FC. So from the GDP at MP, you have to go to the NNP at FC. So from gross to net, you have to deduct the depreciation. Domestic to national, add the net factor income from abroad, and market price to factor cost, deduct the indirect taxes and add the subsidies, right? Yes. So what is depreciation here? Consumption of fixed capital. So from 8,800, deduct the 150. 8,800, deduct the 150. Now, what is the net factor income from abroad? So net factor income to abroad is given. To abroad means how much is going outside, but we want to see how much is coming in. So if to abroad is negative 50, that means from abroad is positive 50. So net factor income from abroad will be positive 50. If net factor income to abroad is negative 50, so it will be positive 50. Positive 50. Next is the indirect taxes. The net indirect taxes is 800. Okay. So that means 8,800 plus 800. So here you can see 8,800 is GDP at MP. Then national income, NNP at FC, GDP at MP. So here from the 8,800 you have to deduct the 150. You have to deduct the 150. You have to add the 50 and you have to deduct the 800 because you have to deduct the net indirect taxes. You have to deduct the net indirect taxes. Okay. Net indirect taxes is what? Net indirect taxes is the indirect tax minus subsidies. Okay. So you have to deduct the indirect taxes and you have to add the subsidies. That means you have to deduct the net indirect taxes. Net indirect taxes has to be deducted. So here the answer will be 7,900. I hope this is clear. I hope all of you were able to answer this question. Okay. So now coming to the next question, marginal revenue is equal to price for which one of the following types of market structure? So we have completed the demand and supply wala chapter, the elasticity of demand. We have completed the national income, the idea of the national income. Okay, I tried to bring different questions from the national income chapter. Now coming to the market structure. So try to answer this question that if the marginal revenue is equal to price, that means average revenue is equal to marginal revenue. In which kind of market is it possible? I am getting the answer B here. In which, like usually in the other markets, the average revenue is greater than the marginal revenue or marginal revenue is greater than the average revenue. Can anyone tell me? In the other markets, average revenue is greater than the marginal revenue or marginal revenue is greater than the average revenue. So in the perfect competition, the price is equal to average revenue is equal to marginal revenue. But in the other markets, what is the situation? Yes, very good. The average revenue is greater than the marginal revenue. In the other markets, the average revenue is greater than the marginal revenue. Okay. In the perfect competition, you can see that the AR is equal to MR is equal to the price. So this is the situation. Now, if the equilibrium will be achieved. The equilibrium condition in the perfect competition is what? Where the equilibrium will be achieved. The profit maximizing or loss minimizing equilibrium. The profit maximizing or loss minimizing equilibrium will be achieved at what place? What is the condition for that? MC is equal to MR. The marginal cost is equal to the marginal revenue, and the MC cut the MR. So this is MR, this is AR. So MC cut the MR from below. MC cut the MR from below. So this is the equilibrium condition. This is the equilibrium condition. So now here, where is the equilibrium condition being met? E, A, F, what? Where the equilibrium condition is being met? So that is being met at E point. So here you can see that the MR is equal to MC and the MC is cutting the MR from below. So this is E is the point where the equilibrium is present. E is the point where the equilibrium is present. Now at this equilibrium, can you tell me that profits are happening, the supernormal profits are happening, normal profits are happening, or losses are happening? So how are you able to recognize that? Yes, at the E point you have to see, at the E point you have to see that the average revenue is greater than the average cost. So here are the supernormal profits. Here are the supernormal profits. At the equilibrium point where the MR is equal to MC and the MC is cutting the MR from below, if the AR is equal to AC, here we have the normal profits, that is zero economic profits we can say. If where the marginal revenue is equal to marginal cost and the MC is cutting the MR from below, if the average cost is greater than the average revenue, here you are making the losses. So average revenue means per unit of revenue, per unit of price. Average cost means per unit of cost. If your per unit of cost is less than the per unit of revenue, so you are getting 10 rupees, but you have to put the cost of 7 rupees, let's say. So you are making profits, you are making supernormal profits. So here the average revenue is this, while the average cost at the equilibrium point, so this is the equilibrium point, that is E. At the equilibrium point, your average cost is here, while the average revenue is here. So average revenue is greater than average cost, so you are making supernormal profits. In this, the average cost is here. At this equilibrium point, the average cost is here, the average revenue is also here. So here the average revenue is equal to average cost, so normal profits are being made. Now in this, equilibrium point is here where the MR is equal to MC and MC is cutting the MR from below. In this point, at the equilibrium point, at the equilibrium quantity, the average cost is greater than the average revenue. So here you are making the losses. So always at the equilibrium, you have to check that at the equilibrium quantity, where the MC is equal to MR and the MC is cutting the MR from below, if at this equilibrium point you can see this is the average cost, this is the average cost, this is the average revenue. So average revenue is greater than the average cost, so here you are making the supernormal profits. If the average revenue is equal to average cost, here you are making, at the equilibrium point, here you are making the normal profits. See, normal profits means your total revenue is equal to total cost. Total revenue, that includes some like basic of the profits, so that includes the total cost. So you are making normal profits, that means you are making zero economic profits. That means there is no supernormal profits, okay? But you are making normal profits, that is included in your total revenue, because the total revenue, this includes the wages, the interest, the rent, and the minimum of the basic of the profits, okay? So when your total revenue is equal to total cost, your average revenue is equal to average cost, you have the normal profits, that is zero economic profits. Here your average revenue is greater than the average cost, that means your total revenue is greater than the total cost. Here you can see at the equilibrium point, your average revenue is less than the average cost. That means your total cost is greater than the total revenue, so you are making losses, Is it clear? Any confusion here? Any confusion? Anyone? Tell me if there is any confusion, I will clarify it, otherwise I will move forward. Clear? Okay, so try to answer this question now. Okay. So now, when a perfectly competitive industry is in long run equilibrium means that the long run marginal cost is equal to the marginal revenue, and the long run marginal cost is cutting the MR from below. In this case, in the perfect competition, when you are at the long run equilibrium, there are only the normal profits that are being achieved. Normal profits means zero economic profits. Normal profits means zero economic profits. That means your average revenue is equal to average cost. So here you can see that your short run average cost at the equilibrium point. So this is the equilibrium point where your MC, long run MC, short run MC is cutting the MR from below. So in the short run, in the long run, this is the equilibrium point. This is the equilibrium point. Okay. So at the long run equilibrium, there should be short run equilibrium that should also be achieved. Okay. So here the long run MC is equal to long run is equal to MR. The short run MC is also equal to MR. Okay. Now here the short run average cost is equal to AR, as well as the long run average cost is also equal to the AR. So AR is equal to average cost. Average revenue is equal to average cost. That means total revenue is equal to total cost. So there are normal profits that is being achieved because of the total revenue is equal to total cost. Okay. So now here remember one important point, that always the marginal cost will always cut the average cost at the minimum of the average cost. So marginal cost will always cut, the marginal cost will always cut the average cost at the minimum of the average cost, So the short run marginal cost and the long run marginal cost, they are cutting the short run average cost and the long run average cost at the minimum of the average cost. Okay. So remember this point. Okay. So here produce a level of output. In the long run equilibrium, there is a production of a level of output where short run marginal cost is equal to short run average total cost. So that is happening. See, when in the perfect competition, the average cost is equal to average revenue. The short run average cost is equal to average revenue. And here when the long run equilibrium is being achieved and the long run average cost is equal to average revenue, the normal profits are being achieved and the production is happening at the minimum point. That's why the marginal cost is cutting the average cost here. The long run marginal cost, short run marginal cost are cutting the average cost at the equilibrium point that they are meeting here. So the long run marginal cost is cutting the long run average cost at the minimum of the point. Okay, so that means the production is happening at the minimum of the point, and at the equilibrium level, the production that is happening, the production of an output is happening where the short run marginal cost is equal to the short run average cost, and there is at the minimum level the production is happening. A level of output is being produced where the long run marginal cost is equal to long run average cost, that you can see here. Long run marginal cost is equal to long run average cost, and where the long run when the marginal cost cut the average cost, it is at the minimum of the point. Okay, minimum of the average cost. So that means marginal cost is equal to average cost at the minimum of the average cost. Marginal cost is equal to average cost at the minimum of the average cost. So marginal cost is equal to minimum of the average cost. Okay, so marginal cost cut the average cost at the minimum of the average cost. So in the long run, in the perfect competition, there is the normal profits that are being achieved and the production is happening at the minimum of the cost where the marginal cost is equal to average cost in the short run, in the long run. So here the first is wrong because there is zero economic profits. There are normal profits that are being achieved, that is zero economic profits. So first is wrong, second and third are correct, and that's why E is the right answer here. Here the right answer is E, not B. Okay, I hope this is clear. Any confusion here? Any confusion, anyone? Clear? So let's move forward with the next question. So try to answer this question. Let's see how many of you are able to answer this question. See, in any of the market, remember that the marginal cost is equal to average cost at the minimum of the average cost. Whichever market it is. This is the condition that is always followed. That if the marginal cost is equal to average cost, that is at the minimum of the average cost. Okay. But it is only in the perfect competition. That the production is happening at the minimum cost. It is only in the perfect competition. That's why it is known as the utopian world. Because in only the perfect competition, the production in the long run is happening at the minimum cost where the marginal cost is also equal to average cost at the equilibrium point. Okay. And the long run, the short run. Now coming to the next question, a monopolist produces 14,000 units of output. So output is 14,000 units. The price $14 per unit is charged. That means the price is $14. This is the price is the average revenue, the per unit revenue, that is the price. Now the marginal revenue is $8, the MR is equal to $8, the MC, marginal cost is equal to $7. Its average total cost is $10. So average total cost is $10. So average cost is $10. And its average variable cost is $9. Average variable cost, which is a part of average total cost. Average cost, we can say it is $9, it is $10. So now what should be the thing that should be happening here? D. Okay, Rahul is saying A, Nilesh is saying D. So who is correct here? Try to understand that the marginal cost is how much? It is $7. The marginal revenue is $8. So if the marginal cost, like they should be equal. They should be equal. Here you can see that the marginal revenue, let me draw. This is the average revenue. This is the marginal revenue. This is the marginal cost. Now you are producing at this level because your marginal revenue is higher than the marginal cost. You are producing a lower quantity because your marginal revenue is higher than the marginal cost. Okay. So that means you should increase the output. You should increase the output. If you increase the output, you will reach to the equilibrium point. At the equilibrium point, you will be achieving the maximum of the profit. So that is the sole reason. Increase the output because your marginal revenue is greater than the marginal cost. So until the marginal revenue is greater than the marginal cost, you can increase the production to reach the equilibrium point, and this will result in an increase in the firm's positive economic profit. Because here you can see that your average revenue is greater than the average cost. Your average revenue is $14 while your average cost is $10. So if you increase the production, your average revenue is higher than the average cost. So if you increase average revenue is greater than the average cost, you will earn supernormal profits. That is the case. So you are currently producing at this level, let's say, at this level. So that means your marginal revenue is greater than the marginal cost, That means you have to increase the production so that you can reach to the equilibrium where the marginal revenue is equal to marginal cost. And here you can see that your average cost is less than, at this equilibrium point, your average cost is less than the average revenue. So you will be earning supernormal profits. I hope this much is clear. So A is the answer here. A is the answer. And see, average cost is equal to average variable cost plus average total cost, average fixed cost, my bad. So average cost is the total cost, average total cost. That is the variable cost. That is the cost of the changing factor. That is labor. Labor is continuously changing. 1 labor, 2 labor, 3 labor. So average variable cost and the average total fixed cost is the cost of the fixed factor, that is capital in the short run. Okay. So average cost is equal to average variable cost plus average fixed cost. Let's say average variable cost is $9, average fixed cost is $1. So average cost, total cost is what? It is $10. Average total cost is $10. So you do not have to focus on the average variable cost when average cost is given. Okay. So average cost, the average variable cost will, short run average variable cost will be below the average cost because there is also the average fixed cost that is present. Okay. So average variable cost plus the average fixed cost, this makes the average cost. Okay. So now coming to the next point. So if an imperfectly competitive firm is producing a level of output where marginal cost is equal to marginal revenue and marginal revenue is below the average variable cost. So try to draw the diagram. Whenever you think about this, you will not be able to solve it until you make the diagram. So this is your average revenue. This is your marginal revenue, correct? Till now, you are able to draw this. This is your marginal cost. So your marginal revenue is equal to your marginal cost at this point. This is equilibrium point, right? Now your marginal revenue is below average variable cost. So let's draw the average variable cost here. This is your average variable cost. The marginal cost should cut the marginal variable cost, should be equal to the minimum of average variable cost. The marginal cost should be cutting is equal to minimum of the average cost. So here, this is average variable cost. Now your average total cost is equal to your price. So average revenue is also equal to price. So your average at the equilibrium, your average cost is equal to your price. Okay, your average cost, here you can see your average cost is equal to your price. So this is the diagram. This is the diagram. I hope all of you were able to draw this diagram. So simply you have to always draw the equilibrium point, average revenue, marginal revenue. Let me show you again. This is marginal cost. This is average variable cost, okay. So this is higher than the marginal cost, marginal revenue. So average variable cost is greater than the marginal revenue. But your average cost, this is your average cost. It is equal to the price. It is equal to average revenue, that is price. So here you can see that average cost should be greater. Average cost is equal to average variable cost plus average fixed cost. So average cost should be always greater than the average variable cost. So that's why average cost is above and this. Now here you are earning supernormal profits, normal profits or losses. Who can tell me what you are earning? Supernormal profits, profits or losses? What you are earning? What you are earning here? Your price, that is average revenue, is equal to average cost. That means you are earning normal profits. You are earning normal profits. At the equilibrium level, you are earning normal profits. So now you should keep your output constant because you are at the equilibrium level where the marginal revenue is equal to the marginal cost. So you should not change your output. So this is the diagram. Here you can see that your average cost is equal to the average revenue. So here you are producing at the normal profit. Okay, so this is the equilibrium level of output that you are producing at the normal profit. You are earning normal profit. So average variable cost is somewhere here. This is average variable cost, that is below the average cost. Okay, so now here you can understand that this is the normal profit because the average revenue is equal to average cost. But you can see that there is more capacity to produce. But because you are earning the profits here, you are earning the maximum that you can, so you will not increase your production. But your minimum of the average cost is here. The minimum of the average cost is where the marginal cost is equal to the average cost. So your marginal cost is equal to the average cost at this point. That means this is the minimum of the average cost. So that means if you increase your production, you will reach to the minimum of the average cost, but you do not want to increase the production. The monopolistic market or the monopolistic firms do not want to increase their production because they are earning the maximum they can at this point. If they increase the production, it will lead to the losses and such, or it can reduce their profits. I hope till now everything is clear. So that's why it is said that in the monopolistic competition there is excess capacity, because you can reach the minimum point but you are not reaching. Okay, it is only in the perfect competition. That's why I made it very clear that it is only in the perfect competition that your average revenue is equal to average cost, and that is you are producing at the minimum of the average cost. Because here at the equilibrium point where the MC is equal to MR, at this point the MC is also equal to average cost. The marginal cost at this equilibrium point, the marginal cost is also equal to average cost, and marginal cost is equal to average cost at the minimum of average cost. So in the perfect competition, the production is happening at the minimum of the average cost. But in the other competition, the production is not happening at the minimum of the average cost. Understood? Any confusion here? So this is the idea. Here you can see that supernormal profits are happening. This is the average cost. Okay, this is for the monopoly. Now monopoly can have the monopolist, that is the single firm. It can have it can have supernormal profits, it can have normal profits. So this is for the monopolist, that is for the single firm, monopoly. Okay, for the single firm. So it can have supernormal profits or it can have the normal profits. Now coming to the next question. So kindly answer this question. See, in the short run, you can earn supernormal profits, normal profits, or even losses under the monopolistic competition. But in the long run, the monopolistic competition, in the monopolistic competition, you can only earn normal profits, okay? But you have the excess capacity, okay? So try to answer this question. In the oligopoly market structure, there is the concept of kinked demand curve. As per the kinked demand curve, which of the following statements is incorrect, that you have to tell me, okay? I'm getting the answer C. So if a firm A increases, simply here you can see this is the kinked demand curve for the oligopolist. In the oligopoly, there is a few big firms that have the large chunk of the market. So in the oligopoly, there is few big firms and they have huge mutual interdependence. In the oligopoly, it is said that the oligopoly has, or the oligopoly firms, they have the kinked demand curve. Kinked demand curve means that there are very few large firms. So let's say that there is HP Gas, there is Indane, and there is Bharat. So only these three are supplying the LPG in the whole of the country. Now let's say that the HP Gas wants to increase the prices. HP Gas has decided this price, but now it is increasing its price. So when the HP Gas is increasing the price for the same product, HP Gas has increased its price. Now, rather than taking the LPG cylinder from the HP Gas, we will take the cylinder from the Indane or Bharat. Why we will pay higher to the HP Gas, right? So as soon as the HP Gas increases its price, so when a firm A, let's say HP Gas, is increasing its price, the other firms will not follow this, will not follow suit. Hence, the upper part of the kinked demand curve is more elastic, because you can see that as soon as there is the increase in price by a firm, there is huge decrease in the demand. So a small increase in the price can lead to a huge decrease in the demand. While if the firm, let's say HP Gas, is thinking of decreasing the price. Now HP Gas is saying that, okay, I will decrease my price from 1000 to 800. So the Indane users as well as the Bharat users will also shift to my LPG cylinder. So I should reduce my price. But if the firm A, that is HP Gas, is cutting its price, the other firms will also cut their price, because they do not want to lose their market. There are only a few big sellers and they are looking into each other's decision, and the other firms will also cut their price. So if HP Gas is cutting its price to gain the higher market share, the other firms will also follow suit and they will also decrease their price. So if all the firms are decreasing their price simultaneously, Indane has decreased its price, HP has decreased its price, the Bharat has decreased its price, so the consumers will not shift from here or there, but there is new consumers that will be added, but those new consumers will be very less, okay? So the consumers of HP Gas will not shift to the other cylinders. The Indane and the Bharat, they all have decreased the prices by the same proportion. So you will not shift from here or there, okay? That is not beneficial for you. But the new consumers, seeing the lesser price, the new consumers might start buying the product. So the demand is increasing. The demand for the HP Gas is increasing, but very slightly. So that's why the lower part of the kinked demand curve is inelastic. Inelastic means that with a huge decrease in the price, there is very slight increase in the demand that is coming. So demand curve is elastic and sensitive to the price increases with the increase in the price by a single firm. So this is for a single firm, let's say for the HP Gas. If the firm is increasing its price, the demand will reduce by a lot. But if the firm is decreasing its price, the demand will not increase much. So demand curve is elastic, is flat, you can understand, is elastic at the upper level and it is inelastic at the lower level. So this is the price. So once the HP Gas has decided its price, the price is sticky. The price cannot change. If the price is increased, there is huge decrease in demand. If the price is decreased, the demand is not increasing much. The demand is inelastic. So the firm will not want to decrease the price, because if you have an inelastic demand and you are decreasing your price, the demand will increase by very little. So your total revenue will decrease, right? This is what we have understood, that if you have the inelastic demand, do not decrease your price, because your total revenue will decrease. But if the firm increases the price, then he loses the business. So that's why he cannot increase the price, he cannot decrease the price. That's why the king demand curve shows that the price of a firm is not flexible, it is sticky. It is sticky. It cannot change very easily. King demand curve shows that any action a firm take in the oligopoly market will strongly affect the actions of the competitors, because there are a few big firms and they do not want to lose their market share. So the price is rigid or the price is sticky. The price cannot increase because you will lose a lot of your business, a lot of market. If you decrease your price, there is no benefit for you. Total revenue is decreasing. Okay, so different markets. So the perfect competition has large number of firms. Homogeneous products. Homogeneous means same product they are selling. Free entry and exit of the firms and no control over the price. So perfect competition. In the perfect competition, the firms are price takers. The market is price maker. Okay, so the firms, they have a single price that they have to charge for whatever quantity they want to sell in the perfect competition. Now in the perfect competition, in the long run, you have to answer me that in the long run, firms earn supernormal profits, normal profits or losses. Anyone? In the perfect competition, in the long run, the firms earn supernormal profits, normal profits or losses. So in the long run, in the perfect competition, the firms can only earn normal profits. And the firms are producing at the minimum of the average cost. The firms are producing at the minimum of the average cost, so they do not have any excess capacity. Okay. Okay. Monopolistic competition. So this is the competition where there are large number of firms, but they are selling differentiated products like the soap industry. Like the soap industry, in which there are many of the soap brands, Lux, Santoor and such. Large number of sellers, large number of buyers, which are selling differentiated products, but they are close substitutes. Free entry and exit, as well as they have some control over their price because they are doing the advertisements, they have some differentiation of the product. Okay, so now in the monopolistic competition, in the long run, are they earning normal profits, are they earning supernormal profits, or are they earning losses, or they are having losses? So what are they having? So in the monopolistic competition, what are they having? Supernormal profits, normal profits or losses in the long run? So in the long run, they are only having, yes, very good, they are only having normal profits. Why they are only having the normal profits? Why they are only having the normal profits? Anyone can tell me the reason that why the monopolistic, in the monopolistic competition, they are having the normal profits? Why are they having the normal profits? Because of the free entry and exit of the firms. So let's say that in the short run, they are earning huge profits. So the new firms will start entering the market. When the new firms enter the market, the supply will increase, prices will decrease and profits will start decreasing until they reach normal profit in the long run. Let's say that in the short run, they are having losses. So when they are having losses, many of the firms will start leaving the market. When they start leaving the market, supply will decrease. Many of the firms will start leaving the market, so the supply will decrease. As the supply decreases, prices increase, and when the prices increase, the profits will start increasing. So from the losses, they will go to the normal profit. So if there are supernormal profits in the short run, more firms will enter the market and prices will decrease, profits will decrease, normal profits will be from the supernormal profits, normal profits will be reached in the long run. If in the short run, there are losses that are being made, So what will happen? That firms will start leaving the market. As the firms are leaving the market, the supply is decreasing, so prices will increase. As the firms are leaving the market, supply will decrease, prices will increase, and so the normal profits will be made from the losses to the profits. Okay. So this is the condition that in the long run, in the monopolistic competition, in the free entry, whenever there is free entry and exit, only the normal profits can be earned in the long run, because in the short run, if there are profits, supernormal profits, firms will enter the market, decreasing the price, decreasing the profits to the normal profits. If there is the free exit also. So if there is free exit, the losses are being made in the short run, firms will leave the market. When they leave the market, slowly and slowly prices start increasing, profits will start happen and normal profits will be reached. But so in both the competition, in the perfect competition, normal profits are earned. In the monopolistic competition, perfect normal profits are earned. But in the perfect competition, minimum you are producing at the minimum of average cost. But in the monopolistic competition, you are not able to produce at the minimum of the average cost because you have a falling average revenue, you have a falling marginal revenue rather than horizontal. So in this case, you have excess capacity. So in the perfect competition, you are producing at the minimum of the average cost. You do not have the excess capacity in the long run. But in the monopolistic competition, because of the falling average revenue and marginal revenue, you are not able to produce at the minimum of the average cost. So in the monopolistic competition, there is excess capacity in the long run. Oligopoly, fewer firms, and there is barrier to entry and exit also. So the homogeneous products or differentiated products, like the automobile industry has differentiated product, but the LPG gas has homogeneous product. In both of these cases, there is oligopoly market, we can say. Limited entry, so there are some barriers to entry. So price control is limited by mutual interdependence. We have seen that if a price is decided, that is sticky because there is mutual interdependence. So the price will not be changed very easily. Okay. Monopoly. Monopoly means single seller, one seller, unique product without any close substitute, strong barriers to entry, so the new firms cannot enter. So the oligopoly and the monopoly, they can earn supernormal profits in the long run also. Okay, or they can earn normal profits in the long run. Very large control over the price. Now coming to the last question for today. I hope you will be able to answer this question. Any confusion till now? So this is the last question. Try to answer this. See, it is in the Burton duopoly model. It is in the Burton duopoly model that the firm A is thinking that I can change my price and it will not affect the firm B, and the firm B will not change its price. So in the Burton duopoly model, this is the assumption of the Burton duopoly model, that yes, the firm A changes its price thinking that the firm B is not going to change its price, and this kind of mindset leads to a stable equilibrium being reached. Okay, so there are different market structure in the classical models of oligopoly where it is considered that there is like the firms do not recognize. In the firms, let's say there is no cartel that is being formed. They are not forming the cartel. They are not coming together to form a cartel. Okay. So in that case, there are different models. Could-not model says that firm A will decide its output thinking that the firm B is not going to change its output. So the firm A is changing its output. It is deciding its output thinking that the firm B will not change its output. Okay. So the stable equilibrium is reached in the market, which means the solution is provided by the could-not is stable, and it is believed that the two firms, if there are two firms, duopoly means two firms are there in the market. So the two firms will produce n firms. So there are two firms, they will provide 1 upon 1 plus n. So they will be providing, if there are two firms, they will be providing 2/3 of the product in the market. Okay. So 1 upon n plus 1 means this is 1/3 will be provided by each of the firm. So in total, 2/3 will be provided by the firms in the market. Okay. So this is the stable equilibrium. If there are n firms, if there are two firms, they will be providing 1/3 each. So in total in the market, n upon n plus 1 will be provided. So n is 2, n plus 1 is 3. So 2/3 of the market will be provided. So let's say if there are four firms, each firm will provide 1 upon n plus 1. So each firm will provide 1/5 of the market. I hope you are able to understand this. So could-not said that if there are four firms, let's say, okay, though this is a duopoly structure, but this is a duopoly model, but you can expand it. So if there are four firms, let's say, so each firm will provide 1 upon n plus 1. 4 is the n. So each firm will provide 1 upon 4 plus 1. So each firm will provide 1/5. So that means in total, n upon n plus 1 can be provided. So in total, n is 4. 4 plus 1 is 5. So in total in the market, 4/5 of the product will be provided. 4/5 of the demand will be catered. So could-not model assumption is that if I am changing my output, I am believing that you will not change your output. And stable equilibrium is achieved where the firms, if there are two firms, they are producing 1/3 of the output, and in total in the market, 2/3 of the output is being produced. I have shown you that what is the equation. Okay. Burton duopoly model believes that there is the price, that is I'm changing my price, and if I'm changing my price, you will not change your price. So in the Burton duopoly model, it is believed that the firm is deciding its price, believing that the other firms, believing that the rivals will not change their price, okay, will keep their price constant. The equilibrium that is achieved under the Burton is also believed to be stable with the unlimited production capacity. So Burton has assumed that there is unlimited production capacity with each of the firm, okay, and they will change their price thinking that the other firm is not changing its price. Now Edgeworth also has believed in the same assumption as Burton. So what is the difference between the two? That is important, okay. So even the Edgeworth also believed that the firm will change the price, or firm will take its decision regarding the pricing thinking that the other firms will not change their price. So what is the difference between the Edgeworth and Burton? Because the Edgeworth is also saying that I will change my price thinking that the other firms cannot change their price, or the other firms will not change their price. The Edgeworth has said that there is limited production capacity, while Burton has said that there is unlimited production capacity. Burton has said that there is stable equilibrium. Edgeworth has said that there is perpetual disequilibrium that is achieved. Okay, I cannot open this theory up in details because we have limited time, but I hope you are understanding the crux of the theories. Burton said unlimited production can happen and stable equilibrium can be achieved. Edgeworth said no stable equilibrium, there is perpetual disequilibrium that will be happening, increase and decrease of the prices that will be happening, and limited production capacity due to the limited production capacity. So the difference between the Burton and Edgeworth is that Burton has given unlimited production capacity to its firms, Edgeworth has given limited production capacity to its firms. Burton equilibrium has been achieved, Edgeworth equilibrium cannot be achieved, okay. Could has said that the output will be decided by me, thinking that the other firms will not change their output. Burton said price will be decided by me, thinking that the other firms will not change their price, okay. So this is the difference, the basic difference between the two. Now Stackelberg model is based on the model of Could. So Stackelberg said that he has taken the Could assumption that one of the firm is thinking that I will change my output and the other firm will not change its output. But Stackelberg has modified the model that is developed by Could. So Stackelberg said that one of those two, let's say there are two firms, firm A and firm B. So firm A is very intelligent and firm A knows that the other firm is thinking that if the other firm is working on this assumption. So one of the duopolist, one of the firm is sufficiently sophisticated to recognize that his competitor firm B is acting on the assumption of Could not assumption. That means firm B is thinking that if I am changing my output, the other firm will not change its output. So firm A is very intelligent and has recognized that firm B is taking this assumption. So firm A is sophisticated firm here, and he will manipulate the firm B through this kind of assumption, and the sophisticated firm can actually benefit from this kind of knowledge, okay. So this is the idea. Thus, if only one firm is sophisticated, it will emerge as the leader because he will utilize the innocence, or he will take benefit from the assumption of the firm B, okay. If both the firms are sophisticated, if both firms are recognizing this kind of assumption, so they will not reach any equilibrium. But if one firm is sophisticated, it will become the leader and a stable equilibrium will be achieved. So I hope this is clear. Clearly, sophistication is rewarding as the leader is better off and the naive follower is worse off, okay. So this is the idea. Now, another model is Chamberlain model. Chamberlain has said that if the two firms recognize their mutual interdependence, they should not think that if I am changing my output, the other firm will keep its output constant, or if I am changing my price, the other firm will change its price constant. Why? Oligopoly market depends on the idea of mutual interdependence. So the firms should recognize their mutual interdependence, that if I am changing my output, other firm will change its output. If I am changing my price, other firm will change its price. So if they recognize this mutual interdependence, they will reach to the maximum joint profits that they can reach, okay. So this is the idea, that they, without working in a cartel, without working in a collusive oligopoly, they can reach to the maximum joint profits if they recognize their mutual interdependence, okay. Next is Sweezy, Hall, Hitch, King demand curve. They have given King demand curve. Hall and Hitch has actually said that the demand curve is like the price is sticky, and the Sweezy has explained this demand curve. Okay, so oligopoly with product differentiation, price rigidity, MR curve is discontinuous. So here you can see that this is the demand curve that is elastic. So this demand, see, elastic demand curve, elastic average revenue has this marginal revenue. Now if you have a inelastic average revenue, so its marginal revenue will be something like this. Okay, so there is discontinuity in the marginal revenue. So each average revenue, simply the idea is that each average revenue, if you have this average revenue, if this is your demand curve, if this is your average revenue that is elastic, this will be your marginal revenue. Okay, now if your average revenue is changing its shape, this is your average revenue, the marginal revenue will also change its shape. So there will be some discontinuity in the marginal revenue. Okay, so this is the idea. So if average revenue is elastic or the demand curve is elastic, marginal revenue will be something like this. Now average revenue is inelastic, let's say. So this point is leading to the discontinuity in the marginal revenue, and now this average revenue will have something like this marginal revenue. So this will be the new marginal revenue. So there will be some discontinuity between the average revenue and marginal revenue. So this is the average revenue, so this is the marginal revenue. Now this is the average revenue, so this is the marginal revenue. So every average revenue has a marginal revenue. Okay, that is the idea. So this is the average revenue. So this has the marginal revenue, this. So there is some discontinuity between the marginal revenues of the two curves because the marginal revenue depend upon the average revenue. So this is clear. So there is MR curve is discontinuous, and in this discontinuity shows that there can be different, like this is the equilibrium point. This is the equilibrium point. So at this equilibrium point, the MR is discontinuous. So at this MR, this discontinuous MR, different marginal cost can be equal to the MR, and at these different marginal costs, the equilibrium can be achieved. Okay, so MR is equal to MC. Now there are different MCs that can be equal to the MR at the equilibrium point that you can see. Any confusion here? So this was said by the Sweezy, Hall and Hitch. Next is the collusive oligopoly. In that there is the market sharing cartel. The market sharing is happening on the non-price competition basis. That price is set by the bargaining. The price is set, let's say rupees 10, all the firms will sell at rupees 10, and the non-price competition can happen. You can compete on the basis of advertisements, on the basis of sales and such. Okay, on the basis of advertisement and door-to-door selling you can do, but the price will be, price is fixed. So price has been fixed, but the non-price competition can happen on the in the form of advertisements and such. Another market sharing cartel can be quota sharing. That it is decided that firm A will produce 50, firm B will produce 30, firm C will produce 40. So the quota sharing has happened that from the total demand of 200, this firm will produce this much at the agreed price, or the different prices can be determined. Okay, price leadership. So there can be a dominant firm that is a huge firm. So because he is because this is a firm A is a very big firm and the other firms are small firms. So firm A is dominating the market and deciding the price. Okay. Barometric price leadership. So this kind of price leadership is, let's say that it is not a very big firm. It doesn't have much low cost, but this firm is a very old firm that has much experience. So all the other firms are following the price that this barometric price leader is saying. Okay, so if the barometric price leader is increasing the price, all the other firms are also increasing the price. If the barometric price leader is decreasing the price, all the other firms are following, because this is a very old firm and very trustworthy firm. Exploitative or aggressive price leadership, that is low cost price leader. So he is a low cost price leader. So let's say it is not a very big firm. The other firms are also of the same size, but let's say that this firm is producing at the lowest of the cost. So other firms will have to follow this firm because this firm can sell at very low prices. So other firms will have to follow this firm. Next is centralized cartel. Centralized cartel means central agency is appointed that is deciding how much to produce, at what price to produce, and how the profits will be determined or will be distributed between the firms. Let's say there are 3 firms. They have chosen a central agency That is from outside, some agency is chosen. Now this central agency will decide how much to produce, at what price to produce, and how the profits will be distributed. So this is collusive oligopoly, where the firms are colliding in one way or another. One is market sharing cartel, they are deciding that how to share the market. Second is price leadership, one firm is becoming the price leader on the basis of it is a very, very big firm as compared to the other firms, or it is a barometric price leader, that is a very respected firm, or it can be a low cost firm, that is the price leader because it is a low cost, so other firms have to follow this firm anyway. Another way of the collusive oligopoly is centralized cartel, that is central agency is deciding everything. So there are the non-collusive models that we have discussed, Conrad, Burton, Edgeworth, Stackelberg and Chamberlain and Sweezy. They are non-collusive, they are not colluding with each other, but these three, price leadership, market sharing and centralized cartel, they are under the collusive oligopoly. Okay, so this is it for today. Any confusion in the models? Any confusion in the models? Any confusion here? Anyone? Okay, so you read about it. That's why I have brought everything at one place so that you can read about it. So these non-collusive models, Conrad, Burton, Edgeworth, they are not recognizing the interdependence. They are saying that the other firms is not going to change the price or the output. Output as per Conrad, price as per Burton and Edgeworth. Stackelberg is saying that the one firm is sophisticated, it is taking advantage of the naivety of the other firm. Okay. Chamberlain is saying that if they recognize their mutual interdependence, they will be having the joint profits without colluding. So Hall and Hitch has just given this curve, Sweezy has explained this curve and the Hall and Hitch has also explained this curve, okay. Then collusive, that you have seen. Clarity, okay. So now this is the homework question, so take a screenshot or something. This is a homework question. I hope you will be able to answer this question. So in the comment section, tell me that out of 25, how many marks you have got, as well as do give me the right answer in the comment section, okay. So this is it from my side today. But I want to show you, so many of you were asking about from where you can get the course. So if you go to the website, okay, if you go to this edutap.co.in, you will go to the courses section, SEBI Grade A General. Here you can see the courses. So here you can, like the SEBI Grade A test series. So if you want to buy, you can just go and buy now, okay. You can just click here and you can go to the buy now section, okay. So this is the idea. You can buy, you can enter your name and everything, and you can buy the course if you want. So this is the idea. Now these are the test series. They have been brought for you for your easy preparation and the increasing the level of your preparation, okay, so that you can do multiple questions to understand that what kind of questions can come in the examination, what is the level that you have to attempt the questions at, and what is the level of your own preparation that you are doing, okay. So do solve the many of the questions so you can take this course. As well as if you want to know more about the SEBI Grade A, so you can go to the blog section and you can go to the exam information. So from here, if you go to the all categories, SEBI Grade A, you will be able to know about the exam syllabus, the complete syllabus, the pattern, how to apply, as well as the strategy, that what strategy you have to follow for the SEBI Grade A, as well as the success stories, how the other students have achieved their dream, okay. Yes, next session is tomorrow. So till now we have covered the first chapter, that is demand and supply and the elasticity, the national income and the market structure, okay. So I hope till now everything is clear. So this is it from my side. Do tell me that how many marks you have got out of 25. Okay, if you have got more than 20, so that is very, very good score. If you have got more than 15, so that is also good. If you have got more than 10, you have to practice more. It might be enough for the phase 1, but not for the phase 2, okay. So if you have any confusion, you can tell me in the comment section also. I will be coming with the session tomorrow. So if you have any confusion in the chapters that we have done today, so you can share your confusion with me. Give me the right answer of the homework question also. So this is the homework question. I want the right answer of the homework question. I hope you will be able to answer this. You are most welcome. Do tell me in the comment section if you are liking the sessions. And this is it from my side. Thank you very much. Do tell me how many marks you have got and do tell me the right answer of the homework question. You're most welcome everyone. Thank you for joining the session. You're most welcome Sorish, Rishi, Nitya, Shubham and Rahul. Welcome. So thank you so much for attending the session and let's meet tomorrow now. I hope you found this session fruitful. and tomorrow we will be continuing with the coming chapters. Okay, so thank you very much. Thank you for attending the session. Do tell me how many marks you have got and the right answer of the homework question in the comment.